way it'll be aligned when we're pushing it, and the steering wheel will be straight. We will have to end up taking intermittent breaks for me to go check on my 2-month-old kitten. Make sure it doesn't shit on my floor. Cool. There's only a couple more things left to do. Minus tighten some shit. We're gonna wait for him to finish that side. So we're gonna go out here and check up on Taylor, and then once he's done with that, then we're gonna get the hubs put on, get the wheels put on, and we should be done with this. These caliper bracket bolts are actually coming not too bad. Breaker bar, of course, makes that a little easier. That should be loose enough to get the rest of the way out the ratchet, and then this guy in here, I gotta try and slip her on and just feel it out. Yeah, I don't know if I can move the camera back there. All right, and now we have slipped on. So let's see. I'm gonna take this little bleeder hose, kind of get her out of the way. And yep, and that one actually cracked out. Pretty easy here. Let's see if get my socket off. Came back with my lights. And I wonder if this extension is gonna give us a little more.
Oh yes, this is beautiful. Hopefully the light makes it so you can see it.
Of course, this extension is gonna be too long here to slip in because of the strut assembly. And that is on there good. We should be able to start cracking this loose a little bit. And then once we get it cracked loose, I'm just going to put the ratchet on there and she should slip right off.
They are having the beautiful life of a mechanic and car relationship.
So after I took the caliper bracket off on this side, I'm realizing I probably should have left it on so I could screw my calipers in to get this bleeder screw off a little bit easier, but we'll use some ingenuity and figure it out.
Not a very good painter. You want to do it? Just keep your wrists straight, let the paint fall on it. Small, light coats.
You got somewhere that I can do a couple sprays to see how it's gonna fit. Cool.
I'm sorry. And that spray is very direct. Yeah, like this shit in here, like we really should be sending these off better.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, let's get some of that shit off. Yeah. Good, we probably have another like good couple hours of sanding left.
Yeah. We'll be back to it.
She's back together. Got everything on enough to where I can put the tires on, get it moved. I just want to go back through and check every bolt, make sure everything's tight. Obviously missed a dust shield on the other side. Shouldn't matter too much. I'm not even gonna put brakes on it. The e-brake still works. That's enough to stop the shell from rolling away from me. Just hit the back and then let it dry. Honestly,
the overspray will catch you.
Honestly, what we'll do is to get this side, let's do all this, and then when it's dry and done, we'll tape it off and do this side. Just because then you don't want to get spray going this way because it'll bunch up and it'll look like shit.
Well, I'm trying to think. I'm not even gonna worry about the neck, because after a few coats, the overspray will.
Yeah. Don't
Cover
do
that.
anymore. Let it dry now. Because if you try to like fix mistake or like try to fill in and fix shit while you're like
gonna
between
cause
coats,
runs.
yeah, you're gonna get runs and it's gonna look bad. So just like let it sit. Hit this one if you can. Let me go get something to put between these so you don't get overspray on them. Give me 2 seconds.
You just have a piece of cardboard. I can hold it with one.
Well, I'm about to hold it real quick for you. This is perfect. Here, just go ahead and hit it. Wouldn't even do it. I mean, if you want them to look good, let's do like side by side. We'll do that side once it's done, dried and taped, then we'll do this side. Because this is all fast dry, so it should end up drying pretty quickly. So let's have a beer, and we'll wait for the next shot. Man, this thing looks so beautiful. Debate war. Best generation Rx7. Changed my mind. I love this thing so much. People hate on me for the wing all the time, but to be honest, I don't know if I like this car at all without a wing. Granted, I'm kind of a racer and I like my wings. It's a super cool magazine. You should check it out. Minnesota list. These are super hard to find and get in condition. I'm glad my back glass is still really nice. Even this stuff works. Well, it did. And this one's starting to kind of peel off, so eventually I'll come out here with some glue gun and get it off. Still got a lot of work to do in the inside. But all in all, I love this car so much. Everything about the styling that Mazda put behind it and the way it drove. They sounded a little weird, but you know, that's a rotary engine. It was fun while it lasted. We got this thing. I think this thing needs an LS. Screw this Ford motor. Because I like this car. It's really fun. Honestly, it rides nice. Dimensionally feels pretty good. Pretty solid car. It would be really fun to see like an LS or a 350 or something in this. This is Taylor's car.
Who's that?
Like even that's kind of sketch. I mean, keep doing it because you already did it, but like anytime you get particulates that cross each other, like anything that lands, that's being sprayed this way that lands here is gonna like, it's like skipping a rock. It's gonna land and like leave a puddle effect, and then that's gonna like cause instabilities and bumps. I mean, it should be a sandable primer, so anything that gets like lumpy, we should be able to sand down. But at least that's what I've learned from O'Reilly Automotive's Auto Body.
Yeah.
Well, we're just on the primer stage right now, so it's not, we don't need to be super perfect with the way we lay this out. The idea is that we just want the paint to adhere better, and this way we'll have a smoother coat to work with instead of it just going right onto the steel. This way these numbers will really pop out, and we sanded both of them down to the point where we got all the dirt and the crap off. We scuffed it up a little bit and then kind of smoothed it up, but still left some grooves. So the job of the primer is to get in there and really grab the caliper, and then when you spray over it. I mean, and we're doing this with spray cans. If we were doing this with like an HVLP gun or something like that, it would obviously be like a much better finish. You'd get it attach itself a lot better because you'd be able to adjust like pressure at the tip and everything. But since we don't have any of that, and I neglected to buy an air compressor when I had the chance, we're doing it with spray cans. So we're kind of, you know, we're not really going for perfection, but we're making the best of what we got. So since we got it out, figure I'll use the daylight, and since I'm cleaning the car, it looks so much better. I'm gonna take care of this because I don't think I'm gonna try to track any of this shit down and figure out what it all does, because I'm just gonna wire the car up myself. All I really need is brake lights and headlights, and I don't think I need turn signals, but if I do, I could just like hardwire them into switches I can flip. I feel like that would be the best way to go about it, because I mean, I could figure the relays out and put like a turn signal switch in it, but why? So I'm gonna get started with that. I'm gonna have my buddy kind of hover around and film it so you guys can see the destructive process of me failing over and over to get this wiring harness out. Failing.
Goodbye, wiring harness.
Yeah, unfortunately, this whole wiring harness was kind of messed up from the guy that I got it from before. Most of these ends have been cut and replaced before anyway, so that's the only reason I don't feel too bad doing this. Otherwise, I'd try to preserve the rest of the harness and give it to someone else who could use it. Most of the engine harness and everything off of the ECU I actually did save and gave to some kid who was doing some other 13B swap into a Supra or something, which actually is pretty gnarly, is the reason I gave it to him. The rest of this is useless to me, so I'm just gonna kind of rip it out and throw it away. Or keep it for spare wire.
Spare wire.
Look at that, Jesus.
Back over here.
But right there, it's just a little thick in that corner.
I think you should keep the cane in here for reference. I think you should keep the cane. I've slain the beast.
Oh, no way!
Little Tabo.